Bees. As far as most of us are concerned, they've got one job: to make us honey. But a tiny handful have been selected for something even more important: the fight against crime. This is Dr. Maxime Ruth. His job is creating quite a buzz in the world of law enforcement. He wants the world to welcome its first pack of sniffer bees. Why? A bee's scent detection is second to none, and it can be trained far faster than their canine cousins.
The way in which they learn, because it's a reflex action, you can train them within minutes, whereas with a dog, it's more of an intelligent response, so it can take several months to train a dog to respond to particular odors.
Bees don't have noses. Instead, they smell through tiny receptors on their antennas.
They have a highly sensitive sense of smell because when they're out foraging, they learn to associate the particular smells of a flower with the nectar. So when they get back to the hive, they can inform other bees that a particular odor relates to a particularly good source of nectar.
Dr. Ruth thinks he can harness this amazing sense of smell and get the bees to help fight crime.
You can teach them to learn anything, but here we mainly concentrate on drugs and explosives.
To turn these rookie bees into Starsky and Hutch, Dr. Ruth has to put them into training. They can't be leashed, so Dr. Ruth places them in individual capsules. These hold them still without causing them any harm.
These are ordinary everyday honeybees that you would find in any hive outside. You're just putting them into these bee holders, so they're just gently restrained.
Today, the bees are going to be taught the smell of cocaine.
So once the bees are into their holders, they go off for their bee training.
Dr. Ruth gets the bees to associate the smell of the drug with a sugar reward.
We're using simple Pavlovian conditioning. So once I push this button, it's going to divert 6 seconds of the odour sample towards the bee. At the same time, if you give the bee a sugar reward, eventually it will associate the smell of the odour with a sugar reward and automatically stick its tongue out.
It takes only minutes to train a bee to respond to a particular odor, even an amount as small as 5 parts per trillion. Soon they are sticking their tongues out whenever the smell is present, even without the sugar reward.
Once the bee smells the odour, it sticks out its tongue. That tongue is essentially breaking a light beam, and we just measure the bee's tongue breaking the light beam.
Once the bees have passed all their exams, they're ready. This is their new home. Meet the Vaser, the last word in biomechanical drug detection.
6 bee holders go into these cassettes, and then 6 of these cassettes go into the Vaser 136.
Inside the Vaser, 36 bees are ready for action. Air is drawn into the machine and wafts over the bees. Tiny sensors then pick up the movements of the bees' tongues as they respond to the smell. With the potential to train each one of the 36 bees inside the Vaser to recognize a different smell, when it comes to harnessing bee power, the sky's the limit. Meet the man whose job forces him to go the extra mile with your meal.
I don't think there's anybody else on this planet that delivers pizza the way I deliver.